Hello everyone, this is Nota's Recipes, and today I will show you how to transform this pork tenderloin into a thin sheet of meat that we're going to stuff with bread and onions. Here you have to imagine that your pork tenderloin is a roll of paper and your goal here is to unroll it into a flat sheet. This way we're creating a canvas for our flavorful stuffing. A very important element here is the knife you're using. So make sure you're using a very sharp knife so that the cutting process is smooth and easy. Also, make sure that you're using only the tip of your knife and that you don't press too much when you're cutting because you don't want to tear the meat. Once we've unrolled the pork tenderloin, it's time to make it even thinner. So cover it with a plastic wrap and grab a meat tenderizer and then gently pound the meat. Apply just enough pressure to flatten it further without tearing the sheet. Make sure that the resulting sheet of meat is uniformly thin so that it cooks consistently, preventing any overcooked or undercooked parts. Now it's time to season everything. Here I'm adding a bit of salt, some freshly ground pepper and coriander. I prefer it to be freshly ground because I think the smell is better. And finally, I'm adding some garlic powder. Make sure the spices are uniformly placed. Then roll your pork tenderloin to let it marinate while you're making the stuffing. So I'm covering with the plastic wrap and I'm going to place it in the fridge for a few minutes. So for the stuffing, I'm going to use onions. Here I'm using 2. Then I'm going to cut them in small cubes. Then take your bread, tear it into small pieces, and mix it with some cream. Once the bread is ready, we're going to saute our onions until they are translucent. Then we're going to season it a little bit with some salt and a bit of garlic powder and some pepper. Once the onions are ready, add the bread mixture and cook everything until it turns golden brown. Now that the stuffing is ready, we're going to unroll our pork tenderloin. We are going to stuff it with some cheese. You can use any kind of cheese you want. And then we're going to put our bread stuffing on top of it. Make sure you leave some stuffing for later because we'll need it for a side dish. Once we've done stuffing it, we're going to carefully roll our pork tenderloin. And then we're going to fix everything using parsley stems. So first of all, we need to soften up the stems using a knife. Once the stems become soft and flexible, we are going to wrap them around the roll. When you're wrapping, make sure that you make small knots so that the stems stay in place while cooking. This may seem like a step that you could skip, but it's actually a very important step because parsley stems are going to add a lot of flavor to our pork tenderloin. The next step is wrapping our roll in 2 sheets of aluminium foil. And of course, don't forget to add cream on top of the roll. Then place everything at a preheated oven at 420 Fahrenheit. While the roll is cooking, we are going to make the side dish, which in my case are baked carrots. So cut your carrots in big slices like this, season them with some salt and pepper, and put them in aluminium foil. And I'm adding some cooking cream to my carrots to enhance their flavor. For the second side dish, we're going to use the leftover stuffing. we're going to make small rolls from it and coat it in breadcrumbs. Once the oil is hot enough, we're going to cook our stuffing rolls for a few minutes until they turn golden brown. After around 30 minutes in the oven, your roll should be ready. A very good trick that you can use to check whether the roll is cooked enough or not is actually checking your carrots. So what you're going to do is simply poke your carrots with a small stick, and then once the carrots get very soft, once they're cooked, it means that your roll is cooked as well. If you keep cooking your roll for longer, the meat is going to get too dry. So your carrots are a very good indicator. However, for this trick with carrots to work, your carrot slices have to be big enough, just like mine, and the sheet of meat from which you're making your roll has to be thin. As you can see here, my carrots are very well cooked, they are very soft, and that was important for the trick to see whether the roll is ready or not. And the final step here is when you're serving, make sure that you use the sauce that you have in the aluminium foil that's left after you've baked the roll, and pour this sauce over the roll and carrots when you're serving it, because this is going to add so much flavor to everything. And this is our final result. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe and comment. Thank you so much, and of course, bon appétit!